Let's get into it. Oh, this is one of those episodes. So frustrating to see. So everybody knows what's going on in Maui. And when I say that, we kind of know what's going on in Maui. What the mainstream media has been reporting and what the natives of the place, the people who actually went through the terrible ordeal, what they're saying, it really doesn't match up. The only thing that matches up is they're both talking about fire. So, okay. So then what I see is when I'm on Instagram, and since I saw this, because I remember I commented on this post from The Rock and Oprah, and now the comments are turned off because people are pissed about what these two people are doing. Basically, they started a fund for the people of Maui, which is a really good thing. You can't say that that's not a good thing. That's a great thing. The people of Maui need that right now. I'm going to do a more in-depth episode about all of the angles that are happening right now because there's a lot to it. But I'm going to touch on some of it now within this episode. But I wanted to show you guys, there's just a clip that really frustrated me to see. And then we're going to go over some other things. Before we do that, of course, I'm going to bring you to the store. I am CoachColin.com. You can get your presidential mugshot tee. You can get your Public Enemy #1 tee, Google Agenda 2030. And it might even make more sense for you of what's happening in Maui even. Yeah, it's a crazy ordeal. And we have the Certified Pureblood tee, the Certificate of Achievement for those of you that survived the pandemic unscathed and untainted. And we have the We the People tee, someone saying you will own nothing and be happy, which again is something that the people of Maui are going through right now because people are trying to buy up their land. Corporations, BlackRock, Oprah, they're stuck between a BlackRock and an Oprah, when it comes to their land right now. And they're getting the one finger salute that they so deserve, which I am today reserving for Oprah and The Rock. All of that's available on IamCoachColin.com. If you want 10% off of anything you just saw, all you got to do is put in the discount code IamCoachColin. It's all capital letters. It's all one word. There's one L in the name Colin, and that gets you 10% off. And if you've already done that with us, thank you. Your support means everything. Let's get into the clip.
We were so concerned about what was happening in Maui that we were texting back and forth. And I read this article that Dolly Parton had given money in her community. And I said, I think this is the answer. You said, I think that's the answer.
I said, I love it.
And so we have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in Maui. We guarantee.
That's right. And I know a lot of people out there, as Oprah and I have been finding, are just having a hard time trusting where the money goes. What organizations should I send money to? How can I help? In this case, the fund that we created with a lot of hard work from a lot of hardworking people who all care about these people of Maui. As Oprah was saying, it is a clean, direct from you directly to their hands, and right away with some real immediacy, because as we're finding, as you guys around the world know, with disasters like this, the #1 need is money.
Is money.
In hand.
And so people being able to have their own agency, being able to make decisions for themselves about what they need and what their family needs, that's our goal, is to get that to the people now. And so we appreciate any support that you can give. All the people who were calling me and texting me and messaging me and saying, what do I do? What do I do? This is what you do.
Now you know.
The People's Fund of Maui. We were so concerned about what was happening.
So happy. To say that in unison, like it wasn't planned. That's amazing. So, Oprah and The Rock, it's good. Again, it's good to have this fund ready. But like they said, the #1 thing they know, they're aware of this, is money in hand. And I just find it so crazy that, Biden decides that, he's going to give $700 per family to the people of Maui, which is nothing. It's basically nothing. I mean, years ago, people were paid more to stay home and not go outside. Just saying. There was no real disaster going on back then, and they were offered a bit more money. Now, all of a sudden, it's $700 of the taxpayers' money. And then you get another jab from these two about, giving up more money. And the thing that I have a problem with when it's these two doing it, again, coming from a good place, I guess, but man, The Rock's net worth is $800 million. Let's say this is off by $100 million. Let's say it's off by $200 million. He has $600 million net worth. Now, I'm not saying he should be giving up $100 million because that's crazy. I don't think anybody should just do that randomly unless they're really called to, unless they're from there like he is. He's always talking about manna and the culture and how important it is to him. You'd think he'd be on the front lines really giving up some money. But he doesn't have to. He's a man. Everybody has their own choices. But at least has access to $10 million. Now, I'm not going to say it like $10 million is nothing. If I had $800 million, maybe $10 million would be a little bit of a chunk to me. But I would give it. I would. 100%. I'd make that liquid. I'd go to the people. There'd be some kind of account, or there'd be some kind of written down itinerary of sorts or checklist of everything that's needed. Build some shelters. I would just get going. But instead, and then, move on to Oprah's. Oprah's is $3.5 billion. These two got $4.2 billion between the two of them. If not more, give or take. Let's just round it to 4. They have $4 billion between the two of them. And they're asking the regular people of America and worldwide to donate money. It's incredible. And they haven't even reached $1 million yet. Both of them have the funds to make this better. Oprah has 2,000 acres. That is not that far from where the fires took place. That she, again, not saying she has to give up her land. She bought it fair and square. It's hers. I get it. 100%. Boom. That's hers. But at least, the same way she threw out cars for a whole crowd of people. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Why not walk over to Maui and where all those people are displaced and the traumatized and be like, you get a house. You get a house. You get a house. Maybe it's not a permanent house, but you get shelter. You don't have to think about money for the next 6 months. They literally have the capability to do that. And yet they're, again, coming to the regular taxpayer to say, hey, donate some money. It just makes no sense to me. And then, we can always talk about the whole thing of the land that was on fire is land that she wanted to buy. There's all sorts of angles to this. I got to do a more in-depth episode. But it's just so frustrating to see something like that. And then they turn off the comments from the video because they know. I was not the only person that commented negatively on that video because I said exactly what I'm saying to you right now. I said there's $4 billion between the two of you. Why don't you just help yourselves? I don't get it. It's wild. It's a wild situation that's happening in Maui. I wanted to step back and see what happens and see how things are handled before I actually made any videos about it. But that donation video, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And again, it's not the notion of having donations come into those people, of course, because they need it. And, when you donate to any charity, it's like always filtering through so many hands before it actually gets to the people, and then a very small percentage of it does. So I get it. It's good. It's a good thought. But at the same time, they created the charity, so it's theirs. So the hands that it's going through are actually theirs. That's not good. My opinion, not good. They could just build a charity and then infuse it with money. They have the ability to do that. I know how taxes work. They could write off some of that. They have access to at least $10 million each. And that's being very generous. $4 billion between the two of them. They could at least get together $20 million If they were so concerned. If they weren't concerned, there's many celebrities that aren't saying anything about it. So many people aren't saying anything about it. They're not concerned. They don't have to give up money. They're talking like they're so concerned about this place. So concerned. And then you have to get to the point, I'm going into points that I'd make for another video, but then you're going to the point where these people, they're getting $700 per family, which is nothing. These two billionaires are trying to get the taxpayers to pay money, to pay donations. And then you have the aspects of, I've been reading a lot about insurance companies aren't actually giving them the money. They're making it difficult, even though it was a disaster. There's a bunch of insurance companies making it really difficult. There's been a lot of, one celebrity in particular, Jason Momoa, saying don't come to Maui, even though there's so many people who want to volunteer and go over there and help. He's saying don't come. This whole situation to me looks like what was done to the natives. And it's not the exact same, I know, because technology is different now. So the way we do things is different. But these people are very displaced. They're not getting the help they need from the government or from the people who live there who are super rich. And it looks like they're in a situation where they're going to have no choice but to sell their land, of which they've been resisting for at least the past 10 years. They've been resisting. People have been asking. Corporations have been coming to them, asking to sell land. Oprah, apparently, allegedly, Oprah's LLCs or companies or representatives have been trying to get that land. And now all of a sudden, they're just in this situation where nobody's helping them. And that seems like it's going to be the only thing they're going to be able to do soon. Seems messed up. Seems really messed up. But when you look at a lot of different places, the natives, the aboriginals of a lot of places, you see that's how they usually get done. Something usually happens. They get a little displaced. Then they get a little slice of what they originally had. And then they got to stay there. And it's kind of like a reservation type of thing, But I just wanted to make that video. You can't comment on that video anymore. So I was going to maybe tell people to do that, but you can't even comment on it anymore. He took away the comments, The Rock, because they know. You know what you're doing is messed up when you're taking away the ability for people to comment. You're not doing. And listen, I shouldn't even say that. I was going to say you're not doing the right thing. They're doing the right thing, I guess, but not really. Asking regular people who don't have that much money, who are already going check to check, to say, hey, maybe you should donate something to these people. It's always like we're the problem. We're the reason climate change is out of control. It's not the crazy corporations that are spewing smoke. It's not the billionaires and the private jets. It's us. It's because the farmer down the street has cows, and it's because you like to drive to the supermarket. That's why. That's why there's climate change. It's your fault. It always seems to be our fault with everything that goes on. Every single thing. And it's always our fault, and they always look to us to modify our behavior or give up some kind of freedom or give up some kind of privacy or give up money to fix things. It's crazy. It's just crazy. But if you haven't liked the video already, like the video and watch all the videos that are coming out about Maui. There's this one somebody on Twitter was good enough to tag me. This gentleman named Eric West apparently has been covering this whole everything. He's been interviewing people. He lives there, so he's just like boots on the ground, interviewing regular people, and the stories that they have, again, not lining up with the mainstream media at all. And then that gentleman's account on Twitter got suspended, and he's not a tinfoil hat kind of guy. He's just interviewing people, giving updates. That's it. That's all he's doing, just helping the people who are there be heard. Hearing their stories about how they escaped. Hearing how, certain things impeded them from escaping, but they still persevered and escaped. Losing family, all sorts of things. This guy, Eric West. And shout out to YouTube because it seems to be the only platform that's keeping him around. I went and like some of his videos may have gotten wiped, but he's still able to upload. They haven't taken down his account or anything. So shout out to YouTube for actually allowing him to cover all this, because you know you need to hear not just the mainstream media, but also, you know, people who are actually there. It's a wild situation, just a wild situation. But I just wanted to say that I'm so tired of it being our fault. And then I don't even want to get into the tinfoil hat part of it all and start talking about how it all looks from a bird's eye view. And there's so many different things. The wife and I are gonna do a deeper episode on it where we come out with some stuff. So we'll see. But like the video if you haven't liked it already. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And watch every single video about Maui that you possibly can. Do not subscribe to what the mainstream media is saying. And find as many accounts that are on the ground. Like, that's what I do with France. That's what I do with anything I'm looking into. Find the people who are on the ground, because they'll show you the real story. And I don't want to say don't donate to what they have set up, but if there's a way, I hope somebody who's actually a resident and native to that place starts up some kind of fund, because I honestly, I don't trust them. You're billionaires and you're asking for money. That right there makes me not trust you. Even me right now, if I had access to $20 million, I'd be like, well, I gotta put $500,000 on there. Obvious, like I have to. I have no choice. I have it, and I know about this. I got to do it. I can't do it every single time something happens, but this is huge. This is crazy. And on top of it, there's 2,000 kids missing. Like, it's too much. There's too many angles. Anyways, guys, other than that, I am out.